And we are live. What a game, Pistons fans. What a game. What a moment for us all. For this team to be 500, 18 and 18 after defeating the Portland Trailblazers in a game similar to the Hornets one, where they got down early and eventually came back. But I've got my man Cody joining me in just a moment. I'm just dropping him a link now as we speak. And Cody's been up to some stuff in his rooms, which I don't know if he's going to share with us, but I think he's in a very good mood. I'm in a very good mood. I've only got Cody planned for today's stream, so now's your chance to shoot me a DM if you want to come up and chat through the game. By all means, thank you, white guy next door. By all means, shoot me a DM now. We'll get you up here. No time limits today. We've got all the time in the world. So if you want to come up, talk about tonight's game, please shoot me a DM and we'll get you up here ASAP. And I assume you're talking about this shirt. Thank you for the love, man. Appreciate it, Dan. You're the man. Let's go, AO. 4 wins in a row. Like I tweeted out, first time since 2019, since that Blake Griffin Pistons team, 18 and 18, 7th in the East. It's all happening. So I'm going to bring up Cody now. What's going on, man?
Dude.
Back on. Damn.
Dude.
How good.
Dude, I sent you the DM, man. When Malik dunked that, I ripped my shirt off, clean off, threw it, freaking flexing in my living room alone. Shed a few tears too, man. I mean, I've been watching this team since, like I said, 2002. Yeah. And since about 2004, every single game. I mean, that's 20 years of watching every single game. And they've been bad for most of those 20 years.
They have.
Just having a decent team again is so, it feels so good, man. Just a decent team.
It really does, man. Like, I'm with you. Like, it's emotional. And like, I feel like there's plenty to talk about in the game, but while they keep winning like this in the record, like they're 500, Cody, bro. Like they are 500, bro.
It's absurd.
Like I feel like it's not even about as much like for us, for me at least, it's like the games, I'm like there's stuff in there, but I'm just zooming out constantly recently, being like, wow, they're 18 and 18. They just won 3 in a row on the West Coast trip. They just won 4 in a row. What are they now? Like, are they like 9 and out of their last 11 they've won? Is that
12,
right?
I think. 12. 9 out of 12.
Well, like whatever. Like it's
7
just
out of 8.
like,
7 out of 8.
Yeah, just 7 out of 8. Like it's just like we can talk about the specifics in the game, but they're without Ivy, without Asar tonight. Like I know the competition's not great, but it's just like, man, like it's hard not to just be like fully all in on this team at this point. It's really hard to not be like buying into what we're watching.
No, I mean, there's no way you can. I mean, yeah, I don't really have words. I mean, it's just like I've said a million times in the stream, and I already see some people in here. Cody definitely doesn't overreact to it, and he's one single game, yada yada yada. I definitely do, but you guys don't understand. Like, I'm a super fan. I've watched, like, if we do the math, 16 years, 82 games. How many games is that? Over 1,000.
You watch more.
Over 1,000, with the majority of it losing. Like, after that Jazz game when I came in here and freaked out and said this team is never be good, they freaking stink, like they're always be bad, it's because it's all I've seen for, a vast majority of my adult life is just terrible Pistons basketball. So it's hard. It's hard for me to believe. It's hard for me to get deep down in my heart and say, hey, this is different, because I've seen so much bad. And to see 7 out of 8, 9 out of 12, outside of the Thunder and a couple other teams, the hottest team in basketball. Like, if you would have told me before this season, let's just say they finished 36 and 36 and 46. If you would have told me at one point in the season they'd be a top 3 or 4 hottest team in basketball, I'd be like, there's no way that's possible. There's no way they're going to string together a stretch where they can be considered a top 5 hottest team in the NBA. And here they are. It's crazy.
That's the thing, man. Like Austin brought it up the other night after the most recent game. He just said like the improvement, like you just said there, like from what we saw in the first I feel like we've seen 3 iterations of this team. They started competitive, then they had a bit of a lull, but now they're just super hot. It's like you're really seeing improvement in the season, and they're getting better. And there's things they can clean up for sure, but just like 7 out of 8, like whatever it is, 9 out of 12, with the West Coast trip in there, which you and I were both worried about in December. Like it's just like,
Well, I thought that I literally we talked about it at the end of November. I thought the December stretch was going to stink them.
yeah,
Like I thought they only have 8 games in December, but those 8 games I could see them going 2-6 and just being done. Like they're like not done from the fact that they couldn't make the play-in, but like done from the fact they could have an impactful season.
yeah.
And they clean up the West Coast road trip outside of that Nuggets game, which I mean, facing Nikola Jokic, they have the best player on the planet, whatever. I mean, they clean up that West Coast road trip and then they come back off of that and they're insanely hot right now. You're down 22 tonight. And the weird thing is, and I don't know why I didn't turn it off. I didn't even think to turn it off because I was like, you know what? The Blazers are not a really good team. If they string together some stops, they get this to 12 or whatever by halftime, there's a chance. Like it didn't feel like the Jazz game to me for some reason. Like I don't know why. It just feels like JB really has these guys bought in.
It does. And like even from that Jazz game, so the past 2.5 weeks or whatever it is, like you're right. Like even against the Hornets, as frustrating as that game was 3 nights ago or whatever, like I just felt like they can still win this. Like even without JI, like there's just something, like you said, I think it starts with the coaching for sure. Cade's like on another level, even when he's having down games. Like, I don't know. It's just there's a confidence that we are building as a fan of watching this team where you feel like, like if they're playing the Celtics tonight, get them at 22, yeah, different story. But honestly, like, I don't know, that you just know they're going to come back and not lie down, at least in these last 2.5, 3 weeks.
Yeah,
There's
I mean,
something shifted.
and that's the hallmark of a changing culture. Like
Yeah.
that game last year, 100%, it's over. When it gets to 18, 17, 16, it's done. Like that team lays down 100%. It's over. And this team is just they're resilient. They believe in each other. I think I don't know, Jack, did you get a chance to read the Mark Spears?
No.
You have to read that as soon as you get off the stream.
I haven't even seen it, man.
It's a feature. It's a feature piece on Cade, and it's talking about how it's a piece about how Cade has really embraced being a leader and how the guys are like really believing in him more and more. And JB's instilling that in the locker room, like, guys, this is your guy. Like this guy is going to take you where you want to go. And reading that, man, and hearing Cade, he talked about it. There was one specific piece in the article where he talked about like how that 28 game losing streak made him want to be in Detroit even more. Like, and that was like, I mean, that brought tears to my eyes legitimately because like in today's NBA, all the stars, if stuff starts going wrong, they're ready to leave. They're ready to back out. He went through the longest losing streak in NBA history, and he was like, "No, I'm even more bought in. I want to make this team competitive. I want to be the driving force." That article is really showing a light, man, on Cade.
I cannot wait to read that. And that's to double down like that, because the big thing with Cade was when he first got drafted, he was like, I want to be the guy that turns around in Detroit. And honestly, after last season and the dysfunction around him, as much as it would break my heart as a Pistons fan, I kind of wouldn't blame him if he wanted to leave. It wouldn't be the right thing, but to now be like, and I know things are going better, but to double down like that, like, yeah, we're lucky, I think. Like to have him, like you said, out of all the stars in the league, like I feel like a lot of them will be trying to get out of Detroit. I know but like, yeah, so I can't wait to read that, man. That's
awesome. It's a great article, man. Would you like to discuss today's game at all, or do you want to just keep going on vibes?
Keep going on vibes. We can get into the game, but if you got more vibes, I think that's what is the main thing right now.
I mean, I'm gonna go real positive right here, and I'm gonna shout out a guy that I've been very critical of. I mean, Jalen Duren is I don't know what has been, kind of awoken in him. Maybe it's, the fact that Ivy went down, and that maybe galvanized him a little bit. Maybe it's JB instilling more confidence, but quietly, Jalen Duren's been a lot better lately. on both ends. Honestly, he's not perfect defensively. We know that, but he's been he had a couple possessions when Ayton caught it deep, and he just stonewalled him. Like and for as much hate as DeAndre Ayton gets, he's a good offensive player. That's one thing you have to say about him. He can score the ball very well, and JD had a lot of good plays. And I mean, I read a stat. I think Bruce on Twitter. I don't know if you know Bruce, but he shared a stat. The Pistons are 11-3 when JD has 10 plus rebounds in a game.
Yeah, I saw this one the other day. Actually, yeah, that's crazy. What did he have tonight?
12, I think, 12 or 13.
Yeah, you're right. 14 and 12. There you go.
So it's like, and I don't know if it's specific, like, because tonight didn't feel like they got him. It felt like a game where they didn't get him involved. Like there wasn't a bunch of lobs from him from Cade to him. There wasn't a bunch of sets where he was featured. Most all of his points that I can remember came out of hustle plays, putbacks, offensive rebounds. I mean, I know he got that one good pass where Shaedon Sharpe was on him and he dunked on him, and then he got that pass where Cade was double teamed and Cade fed him and he dunked it. But I mean, I feel like most of his points came off just hustle.
Like 6 offensive rebounds. So exactly what you're saying there.
Like, I mean, I got to give a shout out to him, and I also got to give a shout out to THJ.
Yes.
Like every time they needed a big bucket, every time Anthony came down and hit a three, THJ answered. And I know people are making fun of his stat line because it was literally nothing but scoring. It was 26 and zeros. Literally nothing but he didn't have a single other stat. But I mean, the clutch shooting was paramount, especially in a game where Malik couldn't hit anything.
No,
I'm pretty sure Malik missed every shot until he hit that three.
He did, and he even missed it was kind of a putback at the end of the third. Like he couldn't make anything. He was like 0 of 9, then drains that big three, put him up 4.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like in a game where Malik is not doing anything really, and honestly struggling on defense. Malik was actually kind of a negative on both ends.
Yeah. So I was thinking that. I was like, Malik, man, like I love you and what you bring, but if you can't hit a shot, bro, you got Anthony Simons cooking him, like
exactly. And it's tough. You look at that and you're like, I mean, Malik's a negative on both ends right now. And you got THJ just hitting everything. And then I got to start Tobias as well. He's been a lot better lately. I think much like the Ivy situation with the knee might have been bothering him. I think the wrist was really bothering Tobias. And I think he's starting to hit those corner threes at a high clip.
No, he was good. Like he had 10 first quarter points, which I thought when the energy was a bit low was important. And then finishes with 17. I think he had some rebounds. He's been like even the fourth quarter where JA got injured. I remember in that game he stepped up. He was bad for the first 3 quarters, but in the fourth quarter after JA went down, he was solid. And he's been, like you said, he's stepped up. And yeah, I think it's definitely part of it's the wrist. And he's been. Yeah, hitting those corner threes honestly changes so much for him. Like just in the way we like assess and watch him as well. Like when he's knocking those down, because they're open a lot of the time. It's such a difference maker.
Yeah, I mean, I think that there was a big stretch early in the game where they basically had no one out there that could. JB was just trying everything. He was just trying to get energy. So he put up this lineup. I think it was Sasser, Tobias, Wendell Moore. Like it was a really weird lineup. And he was just trying to get any energy going, and like Tobias was literally the only one who could score, and he gave them buckets and allowed them to like get back into that game. And I mean, you could go up and down the lineup. Sasser big plays. Paul Reed again, great minutes. Paul Reed every time he steps on the court is giving great minutes, like every time. He's so good defensively, so active. I mean, up and down. You can literally go up and down the lineup tonight, and you can say this guy
Fontecchio.
Huge shots. Huge shots. Who's been mostly bad this year, like to be completely honest. A far cry from what he was last year. I mean, Tech hit a couple huge threes in the game.
Yeah.
I mean, you can really pinpoint a stretch of this game where every guy, you were like that was important. Like Sasser when he had the steal, the run out, and Ron Holland dunked it. And then he had a steal, push ahead, and he went to the other side of the rim against Shaden Sharp.
Yeah.
Like, he didn't hit any threes, but he made a lot of big-time defensive plays. Like, I mean, it's just this team is really believing. And, I mean, it just makes you wonder, and it sucks. Like, what could this team be with Ivy the way he was playing?
I know.
Because that's where the stretches without K on the floor is where you're really like, where are we getting offense from?
Yeah, against like the bet, because I think who have they played without Ivy? They've played Hornets bad, Portland bad. Not to be negative here, but just like not.
Well, they play the Timberwolves, who are struggling,
but like
they definitely have the offensive firepower to down any team. But
yeah, like it's like you said though, when they play some of these top 6 teams in either conference or even just playoff teams, like those non-Cade minutes is going to be, they might be really rough. But well, yeah. That's
I mean,
sucks. So,
and I just want to give a shout out. I see Tom Herr in the chat. I don't know what time it is there.
Where is he? Here,
he's in the chat.
Find it. Let me find. Oh, here he is. Let's go, Tom. Tom,
do you want? I don't know what time it is in I believe South Korea. I have no clue. Yeah. He's out here. He's hyped. He's so hyped, he says.
He's on Twitter and his YouTube account as well. Like he's bloody hell, what a man. Tom, if you want to come up, like anyone's welcome up, but Tom, I'm calling you out. If you can jump up, man.
Dude, Tom, you should come up tonight. I would love to see Tom on this panel tonight. One of the biggest Pistons fans around from South Korea, freaking watching all the games. Got the sick. I mean, Jack, no offense. I think the South Korea jersey was a little bit better than the Aussie jersey.
Hey, you're good.
I'm not gonna hate. I personal preference.
You're good, man.
There's a reason why you got that jersey, people. There's a reason why you got that jersey and why Jack got that jersey. I mean, they're super fans in countries where there's no way there should be Pistons fans. Let's be completely real about
it. No, Tom. I'd love to get Tom up here. He's look, you can see the jersey a little bit
he
here.
Said he'd love to. He said he'd love to.
He's gonna come up.
Tom, we need you, buddy.
I'm shy, but I'd love to.
For Tom.
Tom, honestly, there's nothing to be shy about, man. I know what you mean. I'm not trying to dismiss that feeling, but seriously, you can come up for 2 minutes. I'm going to send you a link on Twitter. You can come up here with Cody and I and just say hello even. We'd love to have you up here. Cody, talk about something while I do this, if that's all right.
Yeah, I mean, what can I even – and the thing is, now we'll go back to the vibes. The rest of the week, winnable games. The Nets are free-falling. Absolutely free-falling. The Raptors are horrendous. Like, they're awful. And you get Golden State, who just got absolutely baptized by the Sacramento Kings last night with no De'Aaron Fox.
Really? Was that without Fox? Wow.
That was without Fox. Yeah, exactly. They literally have a chance to go 4-0. Now, obviously, if Steph comes out and drops 38, I would not be shocked at all. It's Steph Curry, one of the best players of all time. That can happen. But 3-1 should be on the table. And 3-1 means they finish this week a game above 500. We're to end a game above 500 not only at that point, but almost 40 games into the season. That's
crazy.
Crazy.
Like, it's January, Cody. It's January. Like, this isn't just like 7-7. Like,
dude, we gotta realize now they're on pace for almost 40 wins. Literally.
Well, they'd be on pace for 41 because they're 500.
Yeah, exactly. 41 wins. You're right. 41 wins they're on pace for. Now, will they get there? I don't know.
Were you talking about, sorry, I was a bit distracted, but were you talking about the teams around the Pistons in the East as well? Like Miami have obviously got that Butler situation going on. Like, I don't know. They're in the 6th seed right now. The Bucks seem to have tailed off a bit. Not that I think we'll overtake them.
Yeah, I mean, they had a couple tough games, but they beat they're beating the Raptors by 1 million tonight. I mean, no shock there. But like, there's I don't even want to bring it up because it goes back to what are the Pistons doing at the deadline? What does trade and that ultimately, as we get closer, that will be the controlling conversation.
Yeah.
Because ultimately, he has the keys. It's his choice.
No, it's crazy. We'll talk about that. I just want to get Tom up, But I just realized
Go!
for some stupid reason, just bear with me, guys. This is a bit unprofessional, but I just got to fix up my templates here so I can get Tom up. I hope I can do this. Cody, maybe talk again.
Hey, no problem. I mean, yeah, there's a realistic chance that if they go for it, they could get all the way to the 6th seed.
It's crazy.
But you have to think Miami is going to get back good pieces for Jimmy.
Yeah,
so you have to think they're going to get good pieces back. But what really interests me is like the Pistons could benefit from that trade if Jimmy goes to the right team. If Jimmy goes to Memphis, the Pistons could stand to benefit from that trade. They could be involved and actually take back a decent piece to make that trade work. Let's go!
Tom, what's going on, brother?
Oh!
Hi, everyone.
Let's go! The man, the myth, the legend.
Hi, everyone. It's Tom. Thanks for having me up here, Jack. And hi, Cody.
Man,
Hey,
it's a
Tom.
pleasure. Absolute
Tom, I
pleasure.
just gotta ask you, how do you feel, man? You're a Pistons fan from, again, a country that nobody should be a Pistons fan in. It doesn't make any sense. How are you feeling right now?
I am so hyped right now. Like you guys don't know. Like there's not a single friend that I have is a Pistons fan, and I've been mocked for the last decade about being a Pistons fan, and now they're not hearing the end of it.
Let's go!
Just making them hear like, oh my God, every time we win, we're undefeated, and like my friends are kind of getting irritated, but they're happy for me and everything. Yeah,
I love that.
I'm so happy right now. We're
This is the point
undefeated.
of it, and Jack will probably say the same. This is the point of this show, Jack, right here, these moments.
That literally, man. I was just taking a screenshot. So I'm about to tweet this out. This is cool. Like the other day, we had someone from Switzerland up. Like, but Tom, like, yeah, we all see you, and like, you went to Detroit last year. Like, you are as dedicated as they come, man. And like,
Thank you.
shout
Thank
out
you.
to you, bro, because everyone sees your tweets and absolutely loves following you and your thoughts. So it's just so good, man. Like, because I mean, Cody just spoke about like how he's been following this team since 2002 and all the pain, but like not that anyone suffered anymore, but just being international fans, like we don't have to choose the Pistons, and we did, and like to be here right now,
You know it.
chopping it up with
Like,
you
that's
at
the crazy
18
thing
and
about this
18.
too is like I was born into this. I had family members who were Pistons fans. Like I was kind of born into it, so it's like you're a Pistons fan. Like that's what you. But you guys could have been like, oh, 2016, I'm a Warriors fan, bro. That's it. I'm a Warriors fan. Or Jack, when you were there, I'm a Heat fan. Like
Literally,
you guys could show us any other franchise that was good, and you guys are Pistons fans. That's crazy.
it's insane, man. It's
Yeah.
So,
Yes, it is. And,
Tom, can
yeah.
I know I'm pretty sure Cade Cunningham's your favorite player. Just give us some thoughts on his season so far.
Man, where do I start? Like, so Cade, I've been like telling everyone that he's like one of the top players in the league. He has the potential to be MVP level, but everyone around me, they're just arguing that Pistons suck and Cade's part of the problem, whatever, all that stuff. But I just wanted us to have a good team built around Cade, for us to let people know that he's special, and now he's getting national, international attention. All my friends are sending me links of Cade Cunningham highlights, and they're so happy for me. And I don't know, like, and you mentioned like what time here it is here in Korea. It's lunchtime here. Actually, I was in the toilet a while ago, like at work, just watching. That should not be my coworker. She better not be watching this. But during like clutch moments, I go to the toilet or I just go outside for a while and just watch the games. And I don't know. It's special. Like when you win, it's like still daytime right here. It's like 11, 12. Since Pistons games are early, right? And it just keeps me happy the whole day. It just gives me an energy to go on for the whole day, and it's special. Like I haven't been this happy like in so many years. I
God,
think
this
this is
makes me
probably
happy. This legit makes me so happy just hearing this. This is awesome. I'm so glad you decided to join, Tom. Even if you're shy, this is awesome. This is what it's all about. This is what it's
This
all
is,
about.
bro. And like, I agree with you, Tom. Like, I actually don't think, like, in Australia right now, it's 2 p.m. in the afternoon. So I don't think our time difference is too much, actually. But I'm so with you. Like, when they win, it just like, it brightens up your day, man. Like,
Yes, it
there's something
does. It
about it. Like,
does.
before I was doing this, like, every day or whatever, like, yeah, I'd be working, I'd be like sneaking off to watch on my phone on League Pass or like doing what you're doing right now. The amount of times I've done that, like, and you come out and you put all this time, and then they lose and it just ruins your day. We've been through so much of that, but
Yeah,
the winning now, man, it's the best. So I'm so
it's
happy you could join us.
thank you so much. Like, I was I always watch your streams through like Twitter and stuff, but I never thought I'd go on stage. Thanks for having me so much. Thanks for
Yeah,
having
you
me.
don't
And I
have to
love
go, man. You don't have to
no.
go at all. Welcome anytime as well. Anyone's welcome.
Yeah,
Tom,
thank you.
literally, if you do have to go, it's been a pleasure. You are the man. I see all your tweets, all of them, and
Thank you.
it brings me joy knowing that there's someone who chose the team when they were bad, just like Jack, and really embraces like the Detroit versus everybody culture. It's awesome, and
Thank you.
you're a perfect representation of what the Pistons are about, man.
Thank you so much. That means a lot. That
And
means a lot. And yes, that means a lot.
last thing, Tom, are you wearing
Yes.
your jersey underneath that coat?
I'm at work, but my
Could you
coworkers
imagine,
always
Tom? Tom just showed up to work in South Korea with
no,
the
but
freaking
actually
Kate Cunningham jersey on every time.
no. Like we had to take those photos for the jerseys, right? The international
Yeah,
jerseys. I'm sure you did too.
yeah,
And the
yeah.
place where I took the photo, it's kind of near my office. So I brought the jersey to the office. I was showing everyone, like I was bragging around.
I
And
love
I
it, man.
also wear my Detroit coat like outfits to work when it's not too cold. So I like took photos of them and bagged them on Twitter. And all of my coworkers know, like if I'm in a good mood during lunch, they ask me, "Oh, did the Pistons win?"
That's
Like
awesome. Tom's turning
everyone
the whole
knows.
office into the Detroit Pistons. They know what's going on. Tom's walking around smiling at noon. They won.
Yeah, and before I go, like I just want to
Yeah,
say thank you so much to everyone for accepting me as part of the Pistons family. And Jack, and you're gonna love Detroit. Like
I can't wait, brother.
it's amazing. As like the city's so beautiful, everyone's so nice. Like and the one thing I really loved about Detroit, like here in Korea, like yeah, I'm sure you're gonna relate. But in Korea, you don't see anyone wearing a Pistons jersey or gear,
Nah.
whatever. But if you go to Detroit, everyone's wearing Pistons gear. Like you feel like you belong, and that feeling of belonging, it's crazy. And you're gonna love the food, the people, and you have to go around the tour the place. It's just amazing. It's an amazing place, and I'm so happy for you.
You're gonna make me cry, Tom.
Man, I love this. This is by far the best moment I've had on this stream, Jack. This is
like
amazing.
no, that's why yeah, I feel like I've never been to Detroit. Like obviously I'm like you, Tom. No family, not like literally have nothing, no ties to Detroit. But it's like I feel like I'm like just meant to be there. So
Yeah.
I'm like you, man. Like I already know like as soon as I get off the plane or when I first step out there, like there's gonna be a sense of like, holy shit, like I'm here, but also like I'm meant to be here in a way.
Yeah, you're gonna love it. And yeah, thank you so much for having me on the stage. And
Of course.
Detroit basketball.
Let's
Yes,
go.
let's go. All
I
right,
got you
Tom.
screaming out loud.
You are
Okay, bye bye.
all right. We'll talk soon, brother. See
See you
ya.
All
later,
right,
Tom.
thank you. Thank you so much, guys. Bye.
What a legend. How good is
Jack,
that,
that's what it's
man?
all about, man. That made me even more emotional tonight. Tom
Yeah.
on screen for the people to
How-
see. Man, that was awesome. That was really
What?
awesome.
I know, bro. It's literally makes you emotional, man, because it's like, yeah, that's definitely like what this show's about. But apart from this show, it's like that moment there is literally like why we're Pistons fans, I reckon. Like we love basketball, but just like connecting like that over something. Like he's in Korea, I'm in Australia, like you're in the US. Like we are so far apart from each other, but we're just
Exactly.
like so close. Like it's the sickest thing ever, man.
That's
I love
honestly one of the few times in my life that peer pressure has gone well.
it. Yeah, someone said that. Someone said peer pressure works. It's so true, man. Like that is awesome.
that was awesome, man. That was really special. And I mean, like, you deserve it, Tom deserves it, I deserve it, everybody deserves it, man.
Yeah.
We've been rooting for losers for so long, and like this team is not that anymore.
Yeah, man, it does. Like, sorry, they are not that. And I just read this. Like, Detroit brings the homies together. Like, it really does, man. Like, there's because and like obviously, yeah, like you just said, we've been through so much losing, but like, and we always knew this deep down. We just weren't sure when it was going to come, but it literally makes every win and these moments so much sweeter. Like, it really does. And then we got another message from Tom. Thank you for the love,
Dude, and we just got one of the bigger Pistons fans in Turkey that
yes,
responded on Twitter, who used to be on our playback streams when we had like 6 people. Jack, do you remember that?
I
We would do
know,
playback
yeah,
streams,
yeah.
we would have 6 people, and he would be one of them. And he said, "Just wait for my exams to finish." He wants up.
Let's go. We are getting him in for sure.
A Pistons fan and I apologize. I don't know how to say his name. I've tried. It's very
Yeah, I'd probably struggle. We'll just get him to help us.
yeah, exactly. Like, man, dude, this is awesome. This is awesome.
It's so good, man. I don't even like, yeah, that's just
Have you got
that's
dates
great.
yet, by the way?
Yeah, I'll tell you off stream though, but
Okay.
it's next month. But yeah,
Okay.
I will tell everyone. Like, it's not going to be this big announcement, but it's next month. But I'll talk about off stream. I was meant to DM you, but yeah, it's not January. I'll say
No,
that.
because I need to know because I'm taking work
Yeah.
off. Is it a weekend game? Can you tell me that?
Games.
Games, multiple. Let's go.
Well, this is why yeah. I'll DM you.
Yes,
I'm
please.
not even
I'm
hiding
sorry.
anything. I'm just not meant to say anything. I don't
I'm
think
sorry
so.
for hijacking. I'm sorry for
No,
hijacking.
you're good. You're good. But I'll let you know because yeah, and I'll let everyone know I'm gonna be there because it's gonna be fucking incredible.
Dude, we are gonna have a ton of fun because I'm coming. Whatever your dates are, I'm gonna be there the whole time.
I love
We're
it.
gonna like if you're down, if on and off, we're gonna hit the casino. Maybe play a little blackjack. We're not a big gambler, but we're gonna play a little blackjack. We're gonna do it all, Jack.
Oh man, I can't wait. That's yeah, like still doesn't feel real. But just hearing I cannot wait. But just hearing Tom then everything he said is like how I felt. So
And the
to hear,
food is really good. He's not lying about that.
yeah,
There's a lot of good food in Detroit.
yeah. There's people being
Oh, am I the only one on here? Did Jack just go?
sorry, I don't know what.
Oh, I was like, I'm now leading the stream. That's not good. That's
No.
not good.
No. I know. I don't know what happened then. People have been talking about Coney dogs.
Yes.
So is it Lafayette? No,
Yes.
there's 2 types apparently.
There's 2, and they're right next door to each other, and they're legit rivals.
Which one do you like? Which one do you like?
I like them both, dude. For me, if you put a good hot dog in a bun and cover it with chili, mustard, and onion, I'm eating it. And cheese, I'm eating it.
No, I'll think I'll like both, but yeah, apparently there's some big debate over it. So
I mean, because the story goes, as I understand it, I'm not from Detroit, but the owner of the newer one was a co-owner of the old one, and he left to make his own deal, and now they're rivals because of it.
got you. Well, yeah, apparently it's this big thing. So I'm excited to try both.
Well, the biggest thing is you need to get Detroit pizza. That's the biggest thing.
So what? This is stupid. I just know nothing. But Detroit pizza, is that a specific style of pizza?
Yes. So it's
Okay.
I guess a large pizza would be called it's a 4-corner pizza, but it's like a thicker crust It's not like deep dish in Chicago, but it's like a thicker crust, and the outside crust is kind of caramelized.
Yeah.
But it's unreal. It's unreal. I love it. Tom says Buddies. I've heard Buddies. I've also heard some other spots that need to be tried. Yeah, I mean it is
I,
not deep dish, people. I eat deep dish. I live in Chicago. It is not deep dish. It is different. It's more pan pizza, people. Come on.
I don't even know what you guys are talking about. I know I sort of do, but I don't. Austin, I'll get you up here shortly because I just saw your message. But Cody, got another few minutes here. Before I let you go, thoughts on the game or any other thoughts? We can talk food. I'll let you set the last topic.
I mean, again, it's hard to even pick, but like this team's 500. That's the main thing. That's the main takeaway from tonight. No matter if they got down 22 at one point, this team's 500. There is a real, but you can tell the buzz is starting to grow in Detroit. The national attention's coming. Like I cannot tell you how many national level accounts I saw tweeting about the Pistons between the Timberwolves game and the game tonight. There were so many national accounts tweeting like, whoa, this Pistons team's not the same Pistons team. Like, Cade Cunningham's this. Like, this Pistons team is legit. Like, this is a playoff team. Like, who would have thought, man? Who would have thought? I can't believe it. I mean, even in my wildest dreams, like I said before the season, I said 28 to 30 wins. They're on pace to smash that, dude. Smash it. It's unbelievable.
It really is. Like, yeah, I think that's the main takeaway. 500, 18 and 18. And because I was like you, like I said it. Did you say 28 then? 29?
28 to 30 is what was my range. Somewhere in that range.
Everyone who watches the team a lot would have been around that. And I think we were cautiously optimistic, but also like trying to protect ourselves because at the end of the day, 14 wins is 14 wins. Yes, your coach is bad, but I don't think not to bring him up, but it kind of shows how bad like that coaching run was last year amongst like the roster construction as well. But like, yeah, to be where we are right now it's emotional. Like you led the show off with, like, it's just, I've never been so into games. Like every single game, like I'm just sitting here in this little room, like watching on my laptop and computer here, and I'm just like losing my mind, like either complaining about calls or just like I haven't been into Pistons basketball like this since the Blake. Like just so emotionally invested, and sometimes it's draining, but most of the time it's the most rewarding thing ever.
Well, and that's the thing for me now. It's like for my prediction to be right, they essentially have to win only 10 to 12 games out of the next 46.
Wow, that's
so it's like if I'm right, something went terribly wrong, and that's a really like I would have thought like, hey, that like last week of the season they would need a win or two to get to 30. You know, like they would be catching some teams that were already like in maybe resting guys, like their seating was set. Like now, for me to be right, things have to go really, really bad. Like they have to win a quarter of the remaining games for me to be right. But that's crazy. Like if you put it in perspective now, insane. If they just go 17 and 29 the rest of the way, they're hitting 35 wins. 17-29. That's completely doable. And I don't think any Pistons fan, regardless of where we're at now, would be upset with 35 wins.
No, not at all. I think like part of me still doesn't want to, but like is trying to protect myself and thinking they can actually win like 38 to 41 or more. But like, I don't know, dude. Like they're just playing, like you said earlier, with like this new level of confidence that just feels like it. They never feel like they're out of games. Something's really shifted the past 3 weeks that maybe is like, it's not crazy to project 41 wins. Like, and it's going to take us as fans maybe a bit longer to come to that realization because of what we've been through. But yeah, it's
I mean,
it's,
for me, honestly, Jack, I'm just enjoying the ride from now on.
yeah,
Because
same.
I think honestly, they are gonna, in my mind, shatter my expectations.
Yeah,
So I'm just gonna enjoy the ride. If they win 34, I'm happy. If they win 38, I'm happy. If they win 32, I'm happy. Like,
yeah,
and honestly, I'm at the point now where I don't think 32 is like going 14 and 32. I really don't with this team.
yeah,
I don't think that's realistic. I don't think they're going to be a 14 and 32 basketball team for the rest of the way. I just don't see it. So I'm just going to enjoy the ride. And I
yeah,
encourage every other Pistons fan to do it. I know I'm guilty of this at times, getting really negative, like I was after the Jazz game. There will be stinkers still. There will be games where you're like, what happened? How do they lose by this much to this team? That's going to happen. And guess what? It happens every night in the NBA. The Heat just lost the Jazz by 40 plus the other night. It happens every night in the NBA. There's one result where you're like, well, that doesn't make any sense.
yeah.
Like it just happens. So like, I'm on easy street now, man. Like I'm enjoying the ride for the rest of the season.
I think perfectly said.
But YouTube user says I need to. YouTube
Yeah,
user said I need to keep angry tweeting and I need to be evil. So
I
if
do
that's the part
think
I have to play to keep this going, I will do it.
I know people give
I
you
will be
crap.
negative. I will do it whatever it takes because
I
I'm so
know
happy.
people.
I will be that guy.
I know people give you crap, but I do think some people miss the negative angry Cody. But
It's entertaining.
it
It's
is
entertaining.
entertaining. I just sit here laughing. Like I love it. But
It's
I'm
entertaining.
gonna get my man Austin up, Cody.
Well, that's good,
Thanks
but
so
I
much
want to say one thing. Kyle
Go
next to
for
the
it.
chat now, and I saw him tweet. I'm going to go do something else. Let me know when I see some Bobby Clinton minutes tonight. So how about that, Kyle? I saw you
Yeah,
tonight. Don't think I didn't
call
see that
him
tweet.
out. I love it, brother. All right, well, we'll talk after this, and thanks so much for making the time, bro.
Absolutely, man. It was a joy, and being on here with Tom was amazing. Go Pistons, man. It's awesome.
Well said, brother. Catch you later. Enjoy the night.
Catch you later.
What's going on, man?
We're here.
You're looking all smug with your hood on. Like,
Oh, I'm cold. I turned the air on for some reason. I don't know. I'm just a little cold, man. Gosh, we're finally here. This, 500 in January. Like, I don't know if you were you watched the games on League Pass. I don't know if
yes.
you saw they did like a flashback and it was a game between the Bulls and then
Yes.
And the starting lineup, it was Killian Hayes, Frank Jackson, Sadiq Bey, Jeremy Grant, and Isaiah Stewart. Those were the five on the floor. And I tweeted out, like, I think I was probably optimistic about that lineup. And it's so crazy looking back on like those times now because, like, man, we were really in it. And
We
like
didn't
those
know.
are the times that remind me that like what I'm watching right now is actually a fun basketball team. And it's like, man, we've come a long way.
Dude, I was thinking the exact same thing. So they were playing that for like, it was flashback to Ben Wallace being on the broadcast for like his Hall of Fame night in Detroit. And I was thinking the exact same thing. I was like, wait, the Bulls, was this last year? I forgot when, because I forgot when Big Ben was inducted. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh my God, Killian Hayes. And yeah, I did see Frank Jackson, I think, as well at one point. And I was like, wow, like you said there, we didn't know how what we were in for at those moments because that was like the opening night, I think, or maybe not. But I remember
It was
that
close
year.
to opening night.
Yeah, I remember it was early in the season. Was it Kate's? Anyway, I'm getting too much into this, but we didn't know what we were in for,
I
and
think
to
it
be
was-
where we are now is the best.
I'll just double down because I think it was Cade's first year because I don't know if you remember he missed like the first 2.5 weeks with some undisclosed calf injury that nobody was talking about, which was so annoying. He was like, dude, I want to see this guy play. And there was a reason because you see him now and it just seems like he's starting to figure out like his spots on where he really like the last 2 games. He's really been like, this is where I need to just go. Like I need to be me. And it's like, I don't know. He's getting to the point where you're like, you see like Kevin Durant get into that stage. Now I'm not saying they're close in like scoring ability. They are close. Kevin Durant is on a different planet. That's all I mean. but like he'll have those moments where it just seems like every shot he takes is going in, and each one comes with such a degree of difficulty, and it's just like it just puts a smile on your face, man. Just watching Cade hoop out because you knew he had it all along, and now he's just finally proving it, which is not proving it to us, but proving it to people who don't pay attention to the NBA. Like,
I agree, man. There was a stage, I think it was to start the third quarter, Pistons were down 9, and he just came out, floater, pull up midi. Then like Portland like trapped him at the top of the key, and he just like Duran rolled, finds JD, hit a 3. Like it's just like you're so on the money. Like he's finding his spots, and he's so confident in those spots, and just like I don't think you're crazy to bring up KD because there's like a sense of like inevitability with KD that if he's not hitting the shots from his spots to start, they're definitely going to fall. And like Cade more recently has been knocking him down to start games, but he's just got his spots and he owns them. I thought tonight though, he was even like really leaning into the pull-up 3 in transition.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's because like he had no running mates in transition when Ron Holland was off the floor, but which is a little bit of a negative of tonight for me. But he was just all in on that pull-up 3, and he was making them. It was awesome to see.
Yeah. The one he had that was kind of just, it was so nonchalant with a hand in his face. He's just like, yeah, I'm going to pull this, and just buried it. It's like, oh my God. Like, I don't know. It's awesome. And obviously the vets, helped out sort of. Malik Beasley finally decided to get it going towards the end of the game when he really needed it to. But I mean, Tim Hardaway Jr. kept you in that game in a time that was looking like it might get away. And that's what those vets are there for, like that's the reason last year, the Showtime Pistons are back. It's, the inevitable tweet. It got to a point last year, like that game, that things started going away and they didn't have somebody to calm them down. And Tim Hardaway did just that today. Like, yeah, I'll keep you guys in it. I'll hit a couple big shots. And I think they eventually took the lead with him, like getting after it. So, it's just good to see that like Cade is starting to progress. The young core is too, and the vets are kind of finally doing what, was expected of them when they came in, is to calm down the young team when things are going crazy. So it's good to kind of see it all coming together. Like, this is what a real basketball team looks like.
Yeah. And like they're gone beyond though, like just competent NBA team. Like, not that you're saying that, like they're like just a real solid team in the I just think 18 and 18, like they got the Pacers, they're above them, above the Hawks, beaten both of those two teams. Miami, they've beaten twice this year, lost to them on the road early in the year, like third game. Like they're right there with them. Like, I don't know. I don't want to get too ahead of myself, but like, are we talking like they're only 0.5 games back from the 5 seed. So like, are we actually like a playoff team? Not putting you on the spot here, but
the East, the problem is the East is so like, I feel like top heavy that there's a chance they sneak into like 5 or 6 just accidentally, just because the bottom of the East is kind of falling off a little bit. And, they keep pulling out games like this or playing games like they did last night that, start so well and they can just continue that, just staying, again, the word consistency is going to stay up. Like they just continue to play like this and show that, this was a bad start. And like, oh gosh, what is his name? Why did I just forget it? I was going to say his name and then Kyle came into my mind and it's not Kyle. Oh gosh, he's going to yell at me.
White guy next door, YouTube user. I'm trying to.
Who you just had up here? I'm blanking on his name.
Cody.
Jesus.
Oh my God.
I was like about to say Cody, and Kyle came into my mind, and then I couldn't find it. I'm sorry, Cody. I did not mean that.
Hey, don't throw shade at Kyle.
Oh no! I feel so bad about that. I don't even remember where I was going. Gosh.
No, you're good.
He said something. Oh, man, where was I going with that? It doesn't matter. It's a fun team to watch. And I mean, it's weird to see consecutive W's, like
regularly, bro.
They're putting them together now.
Like, I was trying to figure this out. Cody, are they 9 and 12 or like 10-12 or 9-11. I feel like they've only had 2 losses, surrounded by heaps of wins. I want to get this right. Can someone help us in the chat? But
They had
either way,
3 and then 1 loss, and now they're on 4 with no losses. But they had 3 losses and a win with another loss. But that was a tough stretch.
sorry, just Cody's comeback. Here we go. How do you forget my name? I can't believe it.
Trust me, man, that was not my finest moment. I apologize.
Good. I love that everyone's just getting to know each other. So I know you forgot Cody's name, but like,
look, I didn't forget it. Okay, Kyle he's I don't know what he did.
Yeah, as soon as Kyle comes up here, with bloody people's brain scramble because he's just throwing cap numbers and trades at us. So
I tweeted one at you and him today. I don't know if you saw it. I would honestly, Anthony Simons.
Oh, here we go.
Man, I don't know. There's just something about him that, like, I don't know. I just feel like he would fit really well.
Yeah,
I don't know. I like him. He's a good player, and he's one of those Piston killers, though. I guess I don't watch a lot of Blazers games, but it seems like anytime he plays the Pistons, he kind of goes off. So
yeah, he's like a tough shot maker as well. Like step back threes. Feels like every 3, I'm like, this is going in.
Yeah.
But oh man, I just can't give up on JI. You're not saying that, and I'm not trying to be that annoying Pistons fan that would never trade a player, but like, I just right now I'm like, wow. And you're not implying this, but I'm like, I just don't touch it. Go like don't touch the young core. Like,
yeah,
at least.
Yeah, because I mean, how old is Simon?
This is where it's tough. This is where like at some point you have to. Like, it's just gonna happen because you can't pay everyone and whatever.
Yeah.
But
it's really tough that J.I. got hurt to the extent that he did, just because it did seem like, playing much better, and it would have been nice to see if he could have stayed consistent with that to the point where you're like, okay, he earned an extension, or maybe he didn't. Like, I don't know. That is, that's the contracts in the NBA and everything. And I guess, like, I don't know, like you said, eventually something's going to have to happen. Like, they're eventually going to have to start trading away some pieces. And that's going to suck when that day comes, because some team is going to have something that will be worth it, but you're going to have to give up something that's worth it too.
Yeah.
And it's going to be tough when that moment comes, and you'll have people celebrate and you'll have people be upset about it. But, sometimes it's that. I think the problem with trades exactly is just hindsight is always 101. Like you never know. Like there's so many trades that have been just god awful, and then you see some player take off who was Chris Middleton. Was he traded?
Well, it's always he was he played the rookie season with the Pistons and then went to
stuff like that. Like,
it's tough because there's all these other little things as well. It's like the context matter. Like, it's like, say I don't know. Like, say the Pistons move on from Jaden Ivey when he was struggling, right? Like a few weeks ago. Say that was because his fit with Cade wasn't working. And then he goes to someone that needs a point guard, and all of a sudden he's averaging like 23 and killing it. And you're like, well, that sucks. But it's like, it just probably wasn't going to work in Detroit. That's just a horrible example from me, but I think I know what you're saying. Context
does matter.
Like the Halliburton and Fox thing. It's like, that wasn't really working. I don't care who won that trade, but it's like Halliburton clearly went to a place where he could thrive. The offense last season, everything. And it's like, yes, it's easy to compare him to Sabonis and whatever. It's just hindsight, though, like you said, it makes it tough.
Yeah. I mean, like, you could look at even just the simplest version of that of just Zion Williamson. Maybe if he gets drafted anywhere else but New Orleans, like, he's the next guy. But, it just seems like that's a dysfunctional organization. So that's basing it down to, like, it's easy.
Would you trade Sadiq Bey for Zion?
Like, right now?
No, did you see that stuff on Twitter a couple of years ago?
I don't think so. No,
no.
Maybe. I don't know.
Some people might know it. I remember I'm derailing this so bad. Sorry,
No,
but
same. I'm
there
with
was
you.
there was this just when you said Zion, that's what I always immediately think of. I remember I was listening to a Bill Simmons podcast, and Bill Simmons threw out. It was after Cade's rookie season. He threw out the idea of trading Sadiq Bey and some picks and stuff for Zion, who I think had just missed the whole season injured.
Okay.
And I remember this is like I just posted on Twitter. I'd never had anything like get likes before. And I remember waking up like, oh my God, this thing's going crazy. And it was Pistons fans being like, we're not trading Sadiq Bey for Zion. It was this whole big thing. And because it was after the season, Sadiq had just dropped, was it 50 something in Orlando?
Yeah.
So like we all thought he was going to be next Chris Middleton. Anyway, just whenever Zion Williamson comes up for some reason, that's all I think of.
Yeah. Yeah. Sadiq Bey. I'm gonna continue off your just little rant. If Sadiq Bey would have just stuck to his role as like a 3-and-D player, he would still be on the Pistons. That's my hot take. If he wouldn't have tried to add to his bag and become like a post-up dribbling forward, like I think he's still here and shooting at a really high level. I think he tried to add too much and took away from what he was best at.
He really did, because him as a rookie, he was just all threes, nothing else. I swear. I mean, like I feel like he was just jacking threes the whole time. And
Did
then
he break the team record for threes made in a season, or was it field goal percentage?
It might have been threes for a rookie, maybe in a season. Or maybe it was threes in a season. Back then, it probably actually was, because no one could hit threes for the Pistons before. Probably was, But
anyways, we got Sadiq Bey.
Where actually is he? Because I know he injured his ACL. Where is he?
Still in Washington? Because he signed back up with Troy Weaver. That was a big thing. He was like,
oh, that's right. Yeah, because they got Bagley as well.
They got Bagley too.
Yeah.
He's trying to build him again. Signed Valanciunas. Like, what are you doing, man?
Oh, man.
I loves himself a center.
Man, some of those teams, like you said, looking back, I like Jeremy Grant, but the rest of that lineup, like, obviously I love Stu, but just like that was the starting lineup. We had no idea.
Luka Garza was out there, like, playing 20 minutes a game. Everybody's like, oh, he's going to be, Luka Garza. He'd hit a three and the crowd would go crazy.
Shout out to him, though. He's been on the Timberwolves bench for like a couple of seasons now. He's like, I don't think he's two-way either. Like, he's got a legit deal.
Yeah.
For sure. Like, so that's, I mean, the Luka experience was fun, but he's stuck around.
Yeah.
Can I ask you, Austin, because I've got my man Jean joining me again. Yeah. He's going to pop on. He's from Switzerland. I didn't even think he'd be awake at this hour.
Oh, you're good. You're good.
No. I'm not. I want to just leave me with some final thoughts, just overall vibes. And just, I know you led off with it, but I think that's what today's show is mainly about.
Yeah, I mean, vibes are high after yesterday's win. You know, the way that they started so poorly today, but fought back and ended up getting the win, like, It really just kind of seems like it's all coming together. Like I'm looking at the schedule right now. You know, they started the season 0-4, like 1-5, and it was kind of feeling bad, and everybody was wondering if, you know, maybe the changes they made weren't really doing anything. But I think we're seeing those now, and you know, you got Brooklyn, Golden State, Toronto, your next three, like 2-1. I feel like, you know, like you lose to one of those teams maybe, but, you know, you go into a tough stretch above a couple games above 500 where you're going to play, I mean, New York, Indiana, Phoenix, Houston. You know, you go into those games above 500, a couple games, like you give yourself room to lose a couple. I don't know. It's just.
Well, that builds the confidence, man. Like you go into those better teams and you're like above 500. There's no question. There's a better confidence. I feel like that's why, like, these last few games, like, they come back because they're like, I genuinely feel like they would look at their record and be like really feeling how well they're playing. Like, we can come back. Like, we're not going to give up. Like, I genuinely think that's a real thing. So to go against those better teams above 500, I think you're on the money there. That 100% brings new confidence, gives them more of a chance.
Yeah. All right, I'm going to end it there.
All right, brother. Thank you for joining.
Yeah, no problem, man.
Appreciate you hopping on as always. And I can't wait to get you back ASAP.
Cool, man. See ya.
All right, man. Bye. All right. We should have Jean popping up soon from Switzerland. Like me and Tom, I'm going to speak on behalf of Tom here. A lot of people assume the time zone for us sucks, and it does because it's in the middle of the normal 9 to 5 working day, but at least like we're not up at the middle of the night. People in Europe, like they have to get up at when we had Young in here the other day, here he is. He was telling me he has to get up at 1 a.m. for a 7 p.m. tip off in Detroit. So what's going on, brother? Can I guess the time?
Yeah, go ahead.
I reckon it is 3:44 a.m.
It's 4:44.
Oh
But
man.
I was asleep. I woke up.
You woke up with
I was asleep. I woke up at like 2 a.m. So I watched the
Okay.
rest of the game. So I only watched the second half. But
Yeah.
I'm not gonna. I slept long enough. I'm not gonna go sleep again anyway. So
Man,
thought,
that's dedicated. So have you
I'm
got to
gonna
go to
enjoy.
school today?
Yeah, I'm going to school.
That's crazy. That is dedication. Absolute dedication, bro. Talk to me about that. Actually, I want to ask you first, how you feeling about the team? Because we've just all been on here. I'm not sure how much you've been
Yeah.
able to watch, but we're all just like going crazy. We're so happy. So just vibes. How are you feeling, man?
Yeah, I'm feeling great. I was up here last time after the Charlotte game, and I was like, I'm unsure how we're gonna play, seeing as the Charlotte game was a little bit
Yeah.
iffy. But after the T-Wolves game, I was a lot more confident than today. I woke up, I was trying to put the game on. I saw that we were down by 10 at halftime. I was a little bit confused what's going on after such a great game.
You
But
weren't the only one.
but I feel like we really pulled it together in the second half. Like I felt like Tim was great today again. I felt like Tobias is really stepping his game up in the last, like, I feel like since we're back from the West Coast trip, I feel like he's been playing great. And just overall, I'm really excited going forward. I feel like we could maybe make the playoffs. I don't want to be
Hey,
too overconfident, but
we were just saying that. I
yeah, I heard
I
it.
don't think you're being overconfident. I think it's just a real discussion now.
Yeah, I feel like the East just gets really bad after you go past the Knicks or the Cavs, the Celtics. Like the Magic they're missing everyone, so they're only getting worse. So I feel like there's not a lot of people, not a lot of teams that could be better than Detroit, and especially with the way we're playing right now, we're not every game is our best, but we always get the wins lately, which that's great to see.
It really is, man. That's a great point because it's like tonight, like, so you missed some of the first half, but you saw the
Yeah,
halftime score. Like in that second quarter, they were down by 22 points. And there
yeah,
was
I
like,
heard it on the broadcast.
it was very similar to that Hornets game in terms of like just frustrating, like missing open
Yeah,
threes. Defense was like the energy just wasn't there. And like, but as frustrating as that is, it's also so encouraging that once again they come back, get the win, and continue this like hot stretch of. Cody did correct me earlier. They're 9 of their last 12, and it just feels like every single game. Like even that I'm not sure if you're able to watch the Nuggets game probably a week ago now, but
I did watch the Nuggets game.
yeah, remember like they were getting blown out, and then the bench got it back to like what 7
Yeah,
points.
the bench
Like
got really. Yeah, the
they're
bench
really
was
close.
really
Like
good.
they just don't give up. So like
No,
even if the wins are a bit ugly, it's like I don't really like. I think there's still so many positives within that.
yeah.
Um, Go for it.
No, you go for it.
No, you're
Okay.
the guest, man.
Yeah, all right. I just wanted to say, like I said before, we're not really playing our best all the time. I feel like, especially, we start games slow. So we start games slow, but we always manage to get back in. It's like we don't get blown out anymore. So like the last blowout, I'm not sure what the last blowout was. The Celtics, I think.
Yeah, I think you're right. Because even the Jazz game, which was a horrible game,
The
they
Jazz
came
game
all the
was
way
like
back.
7-8 points. I don't think it
Yeah,
was.
they came back.
Yeah, so like the last blow was the Celtics, which was early December, maybe.
Yeah,
I
I
don't know.
reckon you're right. Something
So
it'd be
like
at least 3-4 weeks ago, which would be like
yeah,
early December.
so like we've been at the very least always keeping it close, which I don't think you can ask for more from a team that came off from 14 wins to just keep it close every game, and we managed to convert a lot of those into wins.
Sorry, man, I dropped out. My bad.
Yeah,
Sorry. Wait, it kind of paused. What did you say? My internet's bad.
I want to say that we managed to convert a lot of those like close games into wins this season, which is great, and you can't really expect more than not to get blown out every game by a team that came from 14 wins last year. So I feel just like we're playing great.
No, they are. And like, I mean, I guess earlier in the season, a lot of fans were like, a theme was the team was they'd blow leads, big leads, and
Yeah.
then they couldn't win the close games. But I'd have to look at their clutch stats. But they seem to be winning a heap of these close games now. Like the Kings
Yeah.
game, the Lakers game. Can't remember if the Suns game was close in terms of like being within like 5 points, but
I think it was kind of close.
it's kind of close. Like that, like I think that shows so much growth in the past 3
Yeah.
weeks that they
Yeah,
like,
definitely.
and with like even tonight, like Tim Hardaway Jr. was the guy making those big buckets to like
Yeah.
match when Portland were going on a run. A lot of the time that's been Malik Beasley, and obviously Cade does that, but there's just a confidence that's like, even when the other team goes on a run, like the Pistons are either going to withstand it or at least take their punch back not long after.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like I want to give some credit to THJ. Like,
Yes.
I feel like after the head injury, he was down for a little bit, but I feel like recently he stepped it up. He stepped his game up again. He's, I feel like when he played in Dallas, he shot them out of games sometimes, but I don't feel like he's taking too many shots. When he realizes he's cold that day, he doesn't shoot that much. So he still tries to shoot, but he doesn't shoot as much. Which that brings me to Malik Beasley, who just shoots. It doesn't matter if he's hot, if he's cold, he just shoots. But I feel like, it is great because just because he doesn't make them doesn't know he forgot how to shoot. Which I feel like today, when Tobias kicked it out to him and he shot that, I was like, why give it to the guy who's 0 for 9? But if he keeps his confidence up, he makes it. He made it when he needed to.
Did you think it was going to go in? I thought he was going to hit it.
I thought that I saw the ball, I saw the release.
Yeah.
Just the start, I thought that was going left, way left, but
it went in.
Yeah.
I was like, he was missing open ones as well, which was weird.
Yeah, he was missing layups.
I like, it's a great point that you bring up about Tim Hardaway Jr. and like his shot selection when he doesn't have it going. Because I agree with you, like without looking at any stats, like that's what it feels like. Like his shot selection, he's just much more aware of like, all right, if I'm cold, I'm still going to take all the open ones, but I'm not going to take those contested pull-up mid-range shots. I'm not going to like try and force it. I think Malik, like, I'm happy if with the way he's shot the ball this season and just been like ridiculously good. I'm happy for him to shoot every shot he wants from three. Like,
I'm definitely not complaining.
I don't think you're complaining at all. I just think like, because like, what did you say he was 0 of 9 before that one?
Yeah,
like,
I think he was 0 of 9.
Right. Like, you're just like, I want him shooting that, like, and he made it. Yeah.
We don't have, if he's on, we don't have a better shooter in the team.
Yeah.
So I feel like if you get an open 3 to the best shooter on your team, you always take the open 3.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Can I ask you about your thoughts on Tobias Harris? So I think since the Ivy injury, he's been solid, but I don't think we've spoken about Tobias before.
Yeah, Tobias, he really stepped it up, especially as I said before, since he returned from the West Coast trip. He's been really solid. I felt like at the start of the season, he just never scored at all. I felt like he scored below 10 more than over. And recently, I'm really happy with how he plays. I feel like, he's obviously great for the locker room and stuff, but his on-court product got a lot better recently. He's making those like corner threes for the momentum, which at the start of the season he always missed those. I felt like
Yeah.
I've never started the season. I felt like he missed every single corner three,
He did.
but now he makes them. He makes those middies. He makes those posts up when nothing in a lineup without Cade. He gets the ball sometimes and he just posts up for 3-4 seconds and takes his midi, which if no one else has a better idea, that's not a horrible shot.
Yeah. No, I don't mind. Yeah, I'm with you. Like, especially against like bench lineups or something like the other team's bench. Like, I'm all for him kind of posting up. I don't mind it
Yeah.
because he's really good at that midi. Like,
Yeah, he's
it
great.
feels like he's actually quite good at drawing fouls as well. I feel like off of that
Yeah.
post up. So I'm with you though. The corner threes early in the season, not only did it feel like he was missing so many, but they were like key crucial threes
Yeah,
where
always.
literally, yeah. Whereas now it
It-
feels like he's more often than not making those, which is awesome. Do you have any? Because I got plenty more questions for you. If you want me to
Yeah,
fire away.
go on.
Talk to me about Cade's game tonight. From what you could see, because you watched the second half, and I think the third quarter he was really good.
Yeah, especially those back-to-back threes where he just took. The first one was a step back. I'm not quite sure about the second one, but it just felt. You just see the confidence. You see the complete confidence, and when he takes those step back threes in the 1v1, I just feel I'm always sure he makes it. I never even for a second doubt that he makes them. So I'm always happy when he shoots those. And overall, I just thought he had a great game again. I think he finished with like 32 points, which 40 the last game, 32 this game. I feel like his scoring has stepped up really since Ivy left, since Ivy got injured. I feel like Kate's scoring, he realizes that he needs to make up for like 20 points per game missing by Ivy. So he's taking more shots. He's really making them. I feel like he's been getting to the line a little bit more recently, but maybe I'm just imagining that.
No, I think you're right. I'll let me look it up because I think you're right. I even feel like I think last game he didn't shoot many, but
No,
I saw a lot of fans talking about it. My laptop's frozen.
yeah,
I'm trying to look it up, but
I'm just
I
trying
think
to
you
look
are
it.
right because I remember I've spoken on these streams like about him
Yeah.
over that West Coast trip getting more of a favorable whistle. So man, I don't know what's gone off my other computer. Yeah, this is horrifying. I can't. Oh, here we go. It worked. Oh, it doesn't show me phrases. Anyway, I'm sorry. That was annoying for me, but he is getting to the line more.
Yeah.
And it makes like his offensive game, like he was hitting shots tonight, but when he gets to the line, it's like he's always gonna like those free throws take him from like a 24-point per game score to like 27, 28, 30
Yeah.
like tonight.
Yeah, definitely. Because his whistle was always horrible. And now I feel like this season, especially, he started getting more calls. Like last season, he never got any. I feel like he could have been murdered. They wouldn't have called the foul. But this season, I feel like he's getting more calls, and it really shows.
No, it does. And like you're seeing it in the numbers, like the fact tonight, 32 points, but also just 9 assists. Like,
Yeah.
Second or third in the league in assists while putting up.
Third,
Like,
I think, right now.
yeah, it's just crazy. And I wanted to just throw a random one at you. So, do you know who Kevin O'Connor is?
No.
From the ring? Okay. Yeah. Anyway, I didn't think you would. He's like a big, I guess he's a basketball journalist.
Mhm.
He just put out a trade today
Yeah.
that set Twitter on fire. Do you have Twitter?
I don't use Twitter now.
That's good. That's good. I love Twitter, but I think it's good you're not on Twitter. It was basically the Pistons. It's a 3-team trade between the Heat, Pistons, and Phoenix Suns. Suns get
Yeah.
Jimmy Butler. Phoenix got Tobias. I mean, the Heat got Tobias, Tim Hardaway Jr., and something else. And then the Pistons got Bradley Beal. How would you feel about that? I think the Pistons got like a future first round pick as well. You're a Jaden Ivey fan. How would you feel about the Pistons getting Bradley Beal?
I just don't think it makes a lot of sense to take on. Firstly, I just don't think that's ever gonna happen. I would bet my life on it. Bradley Beal is not waiving his no trade, taking his no trade clause to come to Detroit.
The people
And,
agree with you.
And like, what does Bradley Beal contribute to our team? Like, that's just a massive contract for what, 3 years? Like a really long time. And why? For one first? I feel like that's insanity.
Like, am I crazy to say Jaden Ivey's like a better basketball player than him?
No,
like
Bradley Beal has not been playing well this season.
Like, Beal's more skilled offensively, but like Ivey better athlete, bigger.
Yeah, no, with how Bradley Beal has been playing this season, I don't think that's like a crazy take to make.
Like, a lot of people disagree with me, but like the healthy Jaden Ivey that gives you 20 points on the shooting splits of like close to 50%, 40% from three, rebounds, hustles, clutch as well. I don't think it's insane.
No, I feel like they're pretty similar players, like just from the player profile. But I feel like that's not an insane take, especially with how Bradley Beal has been playing lately and with how Ivy has been playing lately. And I feel like it would just make. I don't see a world in which this ever happens. And if it did, I would not want to live in that world. I would refuse.
Well said. Well said. I'm glad you said that because you're a bit younger. I was thinking like, I don't know, like he's an all-star, but you actually know ball. So I'm pleased with your response. Pistons next. Stopping by to give a like and show some support. Great gritty win for Detroit. Appreciate you, Pistons next. And guys, if no one ever has to, but if you could drop a like, it does help things grow and keep the channel growing and more people become aware of it. So I would really appreciate if you could. YouTube user. So yeah, appreciate you, bro. Jack actually gets the highest percentage of likes to views that I've seen live. Well, there you go. I didn't know that, but thank you, YouTube user, for the stat. I'd love to see a live stream where everyone gives him a like. And you're not just giving me a like, you're giving everyone a like here. Because if we keep this growing, man, like obviously it's my channel, but it's all of your channel.
It's for the community.
This is for the community, like this channel on YouTube, like especially. So if you could show any support, it's always greatly appreciated. So because we've had Switzerland. I got to get, is Tom from South or North Korea? Apologies, Tom. I'll just say Korea. I'm from Australia. Like, this is insane. Like, bro, like you're in Switzerland. We're talking about the Pistons right now. Just had Tom here, had Cody in Chicago. I know Austin is from Arizona. Like, it's just so cool. But sorry to hijack the stream then, but I just want to get that out.
No problem.
But back to the game. We're just talking about Bradley Beal. No more Bradley Beal. Oh, here we go. Tom. So it's South Korea, guys. Well, that mainly for me. But yeah. Back to the game and that kind of thing. We spoke about Cade. Thoughts on Jalen Duren? He's been someone a lot of the fan base has been like in and out. I've definitely been one of them. Like, just where are you at with him?
Yeah, I'm new to watching basketball, so I'm not really good at judging defense. I don't really know who plays. Just from watching, I'm not quite sure who plays good defense, who doesn't.
Sorry to cut in. I've been watching basketball for like 15 years and I still don't feel confident. I see something, but it's like
I feel like it's really hard to watch sometimes, but I feel like the effort from Duren has been there a lot more recently, and especially at the start of the season, you had to involve him more offensively to get the effort all over the place. But I feel like now, recently, he started to give the effort without any like greater offensive role. Like he took like 6 shots, I think, in a Charlotte or in the Minnesota game, and he got a great hustle all night. And I feel like he's been blocking a lot more recently.
Yeah.
I just feel like every time I look at the box score, he has a block recently, which he didn't used to have. Overall, I've been a big fan of Duran. When I started watching the Pistons last year, he was one of my favorite players. So I really like Duran.
Well, no, I think you're so right. Like the effort has been way better, and the blocks come with that. Weirdly, I don't think he had a block tonight, but like Cody brought it
Yeah.
up earlier. Like it just felt like his defense in the paint in the second half, in particular, was just so much
yeah.
better.
Didn't have a block. Yeah.
But
I just
but I think just like his physicality, and that comes with the effort. It's
Yeah.
been way up recently. Like because Paul Reed actually got in the second quarter because I think like Durham was kind of struggling in the first half. So to see him have a big second half, obviously he always stuffs the box score.
Yeah.
It's the effort.
Yeah.
That's all we ask with him is the effort, because he's got the athleticism and everything
Yeah,
else.
he's gifted physically.
Like
And
how
I also-
crazy! He's like 2 years older than you.
Yeah.
He's like, bro, I don't know how he's. How tall are you? For some
I'm like
reason,
I'm like 6'1".
okay. You could have told me you were like 6'8", and I believe you. But
And I'm like 6'1".
yeah. Sorry, I cut you off though.
Yeah, I want to give some shout outs to Paul Reed. I feel like he doesn't play that much, but every time he does play, it's great effort. It's just overall great encore production. I feel like Paul Reed, if Stu or Duran get in foul trouble, I feel like it's a really good third option to have. To have a guy who's your third option, who often gets DNPs, to be able to be a really solid contributor to your team. That's just great to have.
Definitely. And I like that JB's been like willing to put him in when both
Yeah.
Duran and Stu are healthy. Like tonight it was Duran who was kind of struggling a little bit in the first half, so he goes to Paul Reed. And then Allen brings up here Reed and Wendell Moore with plus 12 in their short stint. But yeah, he's like, I don't know what his stats were tonight, but he was on like some crazy streak of like at least 2 steals and 1 block in like 5 or 6 straight games.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Any other shout outs?
I always want to shout out Ron Holland. I feel like
Yes.
he every time I look at the box score after the game, I see his minutes and I feel like that's just not real. It always feels like he plays so much more because he's so involved. He's all over the court. He's on every fast break, which we have 2 guys who I love to see on the fast break, as Sar and Ron Holland. If I see them alone on the fast break, I know something great is gonna happen. Since they're just so athletically gifted, they can jump so high. It's just great. And Ron's defense is great. I feel like he's a rookie, and he often, like today, he guarded Anthony Simons, and he was on the court. As a rookie guarding the best player of the opposite team, that's such a tall task, and I feel like he did a good job. And then always he's the quickest on the. He gets his steals, he gets the hustle, he brings the energy. I just want to give some shout outs to Ron.
I love it. Absolutely love it, because we haven't spoken about Ron yet, and yeah, he's like quickly becoming one of my favorite players. Like every time he has the ball in the fast break, like you said, I'm just like, I know something good's happening. And even if it's not a dunk, he's gonna do like some crazy finish in traffic.
Crazy layup, yeah.
Yeah. And just watching his defense, like he got into some foul trouble, but one of them was a bit of a silly foul, but the first 2 were just like from him, just like trying to play like tough defense, like on Simons and Shaden Sharp. So he's awesome. I think I'm not sure, like, what did you expect for his rookie season? Like,
I wasn't sure how much he was gonna play. I was sure like at the start of the season he was gonna get some minutes, but I was unsure how much he was going to play with Asar coming back. But seeing how he played at the start, his shot didn't fall at all at the start of the season. But I felt like it picked up recently, and I also feel like he in generally he just gets better as the season progresses. So I'm really happy with how he played. He's overperforming my expectations by far. I expected him to be like a fringe rotation player, and I feel like he's been a staple of the rotation.
Yeah,
He plays 10, 15 minutes every game, and it's great to see.
it really is. Like he is. I always had him in like my 10-man rotation. Like I just thought top 5 pick, athletic wing. I know the
Yeah, yeah,
shot like questionable, but I know I fully understand why a lot of people also like he won't be in the rotation. He could be in the G League because he is like kind of a bit of a raw prospect, but he has exceeded my expectations. But the best thing is like he's exceeding the expectations, not even from like the stat lines he puts up. Like sometimes I feel like rookie seasons, I know I've at least been guilty in the past of getting really excited about like a rookie that averages like 15 points and like 7 rebounds, for example. Like, or getting really excited
yeah,
about that box score, but some of those numbers aren't really like actually a great, uh, great. It's not the best way to summarize their season. Whereas I feel like with Ron, it's like kind of the opposite. Like, sure, he's had some good scoring games, but when you just watch him, the way he plays defense, the way his finishing's improved, the way his 3-point shot has come around a little bit, like it's
yeah,
well exceeded my expectations. Like decision
yeah,
making,
definitely.
like you very rarely see him on offense like make 2 bad decisions in a game. He's probably going to have one because he's a rookie and the way he plays, but earlier in the season, it felt like he'd have 2 or 3. But now he's just so much more in control.
Yeah, his control has grown a lot. I also feel like he's just, you know, he just jumps into 3 people all at once. Like when
Yeah.
he gets the running start and the paint is crowded, he just jumps in, gets the foul, he gets to the line a lot for a rookie, I feel like.
Yeah.
Because he plays. He jumps into people, he doesn't care about the contact. He wants the foul call, and he's not afraid of it.
No, he's as Allen or Pistons make me smile says, Ronald's defense is so nice. It is
Yeah.
like it's so good. So good. I just want to quickly shout out Alan as well, my man, my Aussie brother, dropping me a little tip. I appreciate that, man. Thank you so much. Go get a Bunnings sausage. Let's go, Pistons. So none of you, I think me and Alan are the only Australians in here, but Bunnings is like the big national hardware store in Australia. Like there's a Bunnings like in every suburb, basically.
Yeah, yeah.
And they have like these sausage sizzles. Like that. Yeah, anyway, no one's gonna get it, but shout out to Alan. But so we talked about Ron. Do you have any thoughts on like JB Bickerstaff? Like not so much like the offense and that, but more so just like him as a leader and like
Yeah, yeah.
what you can see from him on the broadcast. Like, what are your thoughts on him?
I feel like, he really cares. And it's great to see that he really cares. Like every post game interview, you hear how his voice is completely gone. He's always barely able to talk in those post game interviews. And he just shouts a lot. He challenges, he listens to his people. Like the challenge, you see that with the challenges. Like I feel like he challenges really well. I feel like he's always talking to the refs. He's never happy with the decisions they make, and he really cares. It shows that he really cares. Um, it shows to the players that he cares, and I feel like the players want to play for him, and it's just great.
I agree. That's the main thing for me. Like, it's just he cares so much, and he's always on the officials.
Yeah,
He is constantly like. I even thought there was a foul tonight. I think they called it on Stu where he kind of ripped Zach. I was gonna say Zach Eady. What's the big center? Donovan Clingan.
yeah,
It was a foul on Stu, like when you watch the replay, he kind of pulled Klingon away as he was going for a
Ah, yeah,
rebound.
with the rebound.
But-
Yeah.
Yeah, but JB was still just being like,
Yeah, he
going
was
at
still
the refs,
talking to.
like,
Yeah,
let them play. And it's like, even I watching it as a fan, I'm like, oh, like honestly, like it was a foul. Like,
yeah.
but
Obviously.
JB is just like he's in there for his guys. It's the best.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, this is YouTube user. Yeah, it just brings it up. I like how JB screamed at the rest, let them play. Then all of a sudden they swallowed the whistle. It worked. It's working, man. Like he's awesome. And that I like how you brought up the post game interview. I think it was the most recent one. He literally had no voice.
Yeah, I know.
Had no voice. It was insane.
It's insane.
It's the best though. Like he's been
Yeah,
awesome.
it's
Man.
great to see.
Like, no, it's good. Any other thoughts?
Not
Like, could be
really. No.
anything. Doesn't have to be this game. We spoke.
No.
We spoke about playoffs.
Yeah, a little bit.
What do you think? Do you think there's any chance that, like, barring like a major injury, do you think there's any chance the Pistons fall out of the play-in? Like, so they fall out of the top 10 in the East?
I feel like some bad things would need to happen, which I feel like it would have to be worst case scenario. So like a Cade Cunningham injury.
But no, apart from injuries, say
Apart
Cade's
from injuries,
healthy.
I just don't see a world. I'm looking at the standings right now. The only team who's outside of the play-in, who, I wouldn't be surprised if they catch us, is Philly.
Yeah.
Philly could catch us, but I don't see a world in which we're worse than Chicago, especially or Atlanta, but especially Chicago. They have to blow it up. I feel like
Yeah.
they have to blow it up sometime.
Well, the thing is, I think their fans have been asking for it for like 5 years.
Yeah,
but
the fans have been wanting to blow it up for 4 or 5 years, but I feel like the front office has to see they have to blow it up. So I don't see a world in which we're worse than them. And or Miami with no Jimmy now, I just feel like they could also fall below us. So
depends. Yeah. I think like they're barring injury, like we said, they're top 10. I feel like.
Yeah, definitely.
Where they
with
finish
no injuries, we are top 10. I'm 100% sure.
And sorry if I asked you last stream, but what did you expect for this season? Like, what was your wins prediction, or where they're going to finish?
I just, I was like expecting maybe fringe play-in if we're lucky, like 10 seed if we're lucky, but probably like 11, 12. I felt like, we would be maybe. I just want to look at the win totals. Yeah, I felt like we were probably about as good as Brooklyn is right now. So 13 and 23. I felt like that was on the worst end, but my win prediction was like 33, 32. And I felt that I was being optimistic with that. I felt that I was saying like a pretty decent goal. But now we're 500. We're on pace for 41 wins. So it's great.
I was with you. I was like 29 wins, and like I thought they could be better, but I also was just, I already said this, but I was just like well aware of the fact they did only win 14 games.
Yeah,
and it's not like they brought in, like, I really like Tobias signing. I like Beasley. I like THJ, but before we'd seen them play, I was like, are they really going to boost them another like 20 wins or more?
Yeah,
and it feels like that they are definitely. Like, the Pistons don't win 30 games, I'll be absolutely like you said, something really, really, really bad would have to happen.
I feel like over the offseason we added Tobias Harris for 20 million, which he's a good player, but he doesn't raise your floor that high. I feel like we signed Malik Beasley on a minimum, and we traded for a Tim Hardaway who got DNPs in the playoffs.
Yeah.
I feel like that doesn't seem like it would be that much of an upgrade, but
Yeah.
seeing as how we're playing, it was a
It really
really
was.
big upgrade.
And I think it shows how bad the roster was
Yeah.
last season as well. Like
Like,
coaching was horrible, but like
the roster
Boyan,
was not good.
yeah. Because you did
Especially-
see, like, we spoke about Fontecchio last stream, like, and that's a person we should talk about because he was
Yeah.
awesome in that third quarter as well. But once they got Fontecchio at the trade deadline last season, they had a really nice stretch. And like the lineup
Yeah.
of Asar, Fontecchio, Duran, Ivy, and Cade was actually like a really solid starting five. So the roster was just absolutely horrific last season. But those guys that they've added, I guess they're an upgrade. And you're just seeing now with the actual talent that, yeah, they can win 20 more games or more.
Yeah. I feel like getting Fontecchio for Kevin Knox is an absolute steal. I don't know how Troy Weaver managed to do that.
I think it was probably one of the best moves Troy made. I think
Yeah.
it's because the Jazz didn't want to pay him. And I think they got a couple of seconds from us or something as well.
Yeah, maybe.
But like, yeah, it's a crazy deal. Fontecchio, even though he's been, I think the injury, his surgery over the summer on his
Yeah.
foot's been bothering him. But tonight, like, let me pull it up here. He had
10 points, I think.
10 points, 6 boards, 3 offensive rebounds. That's huge. 2
Yeah,
of
I'm
5
looking
from
at it.
3, including a 4-point play. Like, and I remember one of those offensive rebounds was massive.
Yeah, I remember.
To go, I think he got fouled, went to the line. So
Mhm.
good to see him get going.
Yeah, 3 offensive rebounds is great.
Yeah, off the bench as well.
Yeah, I feel like, in the third quarter, I feel like he just checked in. We were on the sidelines, passed in, 14 seconds on the clock, but he just shoots it instantly, gets the 4-point play.
That's crazy.
And then I feel like in the third quarter later, we had basically the same play again.
Yeah.
It was sidelined out of bounds. Fontecchio comes off running off 2 screens or something and just instantly shoots. And I feel like at the start of the season, those weren't going in. But recently, he's also been playing better recently. So I feel like the confidence looks better. I feel like at the
Definitely.
start of the season, the confidence lacked a lot.
No, 100%. And it feels like he's taking those shots, like you said, when he's flying off screens or that 4-point play, he was kind of flying into the corner, kind of almost like fading away a little bit. Like he wasn't shooting those type of shots, but now when he's taking those, I almost prefer them a little bit to his standstill catch and shoot. Like
Yeah.
he's just got the confidence in his shot. So, I mean, if all he has to do is knock down like 2 threes or get you like 7 points, a few rebounds, he's doing his job.
Yeah, definitely.
No, he made big, like those shots as well, all like at crucial times. I felt
Yeah,
like
we
as
were
well.
the 4-point play we nearly tied it again, and then they were putting a little away again, and then he just pops, shoots, and instantly momentum has shifted.
Literally, 100%. And I just want to bring up, so Mike, I'm assuming you're an Aussie if you know what a Bunnings snag is. So shout out to you, Mike. Thanks for tuning in, my Aussie friend. But Alan here brings up, Alan's kind of he loves the G League, he loves the Cruise. So yesterday he would have got some heartbreaking news that his man Cole
yeah.
Swider and Alonzo Williams
Alonzo Williams.
were they waived? Yeah, they were waived as
They were
2A.
waived.
They've brought Ron Harper Jr., the brother of, is it Dylan Harper?
I think it's Dylan Harper.
And the son of Ron Harper. And then they've also brought in, oh my God, I'm blanking. Hang on, I've got it here.
Yeah, I saw
Tolu
that.
Smith.
I saw that. Tolu Smith, yeah.
So what are my thoughts on that? I want to know your thoughts, Alan. You watch more Cruise basketball than me, but I would say I wanted to see Swider get some more burn with the Pistons because the son, like he just seems like a real shooter. But Alonzo Williams, athletic kind of wing guy. I'm not sure how he would have fit in with this team when the Pistons already have Ron Asar. But yeah, I guess. Yeah, I don't know. Hard for me to get too excited about 2A guys. I'll be honest. Do you have any thoughts?
I don't really have any thoughts. I'm just
Man, you're just trying to keep up with the Pistons at this hour. Imagine if you're trying
no,
to
I'm just
cruise G League as well.
I just think we play too little garbage time minutes. We've played too little garbage time
Yeah.
this season, so that the two ways could really make an impact on like the Pistons proper. So like the last garbage time minutes were
The
probably in the game against the Celtics.
Yeah. No, true. There's actually, I won't be able to find it on the stream, but there's somewhere that tracks garbage time minutes. The Pistons would have to have like the least. They've had so many close games.
It's never basically never we never win by a blowout basically,
Yeah,
and we haven't lost by a blowout in a month.
it's crazy. I'm looking up as we speak right now how many clutch games the Pistons have been in. So the Pistons have played. Wow. So Pistons are fourth in the NBA for games played in clutch time. So clutch time's when it's under
Yeah,
5 minutes to
5
play
points.
within
5
5 points. So they're
Yeah.
tied for fourth with the Hornets. Oh, hang on. This might be a good stat. Pistons are tied for the most clutch wins in the NBA with 12, tied with the Cavs. And like I said, they're fourth in clutch games played with 20. The Timberwolves are first at 23, Warriors 22, and then Kings at 21.
And
So
we play so many clutch games.
it's crazy, man. I feel like we're like 60 games into the season. Like,
It feels I feel like it feels like 3 seasons already.
it does, man. It's like, and it's because every game has counted. Like, I feel like
Yeah.
every game, more than any other franchise, like Pistons fans have been like so locked into every game.
Yeah, definitely. Like last season, I woke up, I usually just wake up, look at my phone. Oh, we lost today. I don't really care. I'm gonna move on.
Yeah,
But like this season, I'm really invested because we're seeing the progress right in front of our eyes, and we always want to see more progress every night.
absolutely. Well, I'm gonna turn it over to you here, man, to close it out. Just how are you feeling just as a fan? I think we open with this, but let's close with it. Like, just I know you have only been a fan for a short amount of time, but you've certainly shown your dedication to this team, sticking around after last season. So, just how are you feeling about the future, first of this season, and just the vibes overall?
Yeah, I feel like vibes are just really good. I feel like we're just in a good place in a moment. I don't think the season could have gone any better, really, in any realistic way. This is basically best case scenario, which is just really good to say that we're in a best case scenario.
It's I can't believe we're here because, like you said, this is the best case scenario, and we're living it right now, watching it. And like they're missing like Jaden Ivey, like
Yeah,
been
we're
gone.
missing our second best player.
Yeah, and like Noah Asar tonight as well. Like that's
Yeah.
huge not having him. Like especially when you're playing Simons, Sharp, like those two were like cooking, and the Pistons overcome it.
Yeah, they're a really athletic team. Like
Yeah.
Shaden Sharp is top 5 most athletic players in the NBA.
He's crazy. He's
You
vertical,
would
ridiculous.
he jumps. Oh my god. And you need someone like SR to keep. You need another ultra athletic guy to keep an ultra athletic guy in check. So even missing that, we played well. We kept him under control. Like Anthony Simons went off, but it doesn't matter if we win. Like we let Ant drop 50, but it didn't matter because he scored more than half of his team's points, and no one else. And we we forced them into bad shots, and I feel like we could be happy with that. This is the best case scenario.
There we go. But thank you so much for joining, brother. I appreciate you
Yeah,
making time because I know it's not an ideal time for you to be up right now, but we absolutely love having you on the show here. And I know you're going to be back whenever you can next. So,
yeah. I'm probably gonna be back. after the Warriors game because I'm definitely staying up to watch that because
Let's go.
one of my best friends, the only friends I talk basketball to, he's a Warriors fan. So we're just gonna be watching the game together in call.
We're watching it together.
Yeah, in
You
call
should
probably.
both come on after the game. I'd love to meet your friend. Or no.
I'm not sure he's gonna come on, but
uh,
I'm gonna be back on Thursday. Now I'm gonna hop off. I'm gonna listen to Leangelo Ball music on repeat.
yes. Did you see I put that on the
Yeah, I saw it.
scorecard? I love it, bro. Will you go listen to that? I actually don't like. I actually rate it. I don't mind it.
Yeah, I don't think it's that bad.
Because did you ever listen to? All right, well, let's talk about this. So, remember when Lonzo Ball dropped an album? I loved Lonzo.
I think I remember. I heard
You
a
must
little bit
have been.
about that.
It was in
I
like
was
2017. You would have been
Yeah, I
actually.
wasn't paying attention to NBA then,
Yeah,
but
true. You wouldn't even have known. So Lonzo
I
dropped an
heard
album.
about that. I think.
Yeah. Lonzo in his rookie season. Yeah, it was 2017. He dropped an album, and like I just loved like the Ball family. Like
They're
like
fun.
they're like Lavar's hilarious. Like
Yeah.
and I literally I have the whole Lonzo Ball album liked on Spotify, and it will still just come up in my liked. And there's actually a few good tracks in there. So like Jello, like shout out to him.
Shout out to
Genuinely,
Jello,
shout out to Jello.
Detroit Pistons legend.
Let's go, brother. Well, thank you so much for joining, man. And yeah, we'll chat in the DMs. But yeah, can't wait to chat on. Be Thursday for you or Friday? I don't know. Whatever.
It's Thursday to Friday.
All right.
So I think it's Friday.
You're right. So we'll chat there, man. But thank you for jumping on tonight.
Yeah.
All right, man.
All right.
Catch ya.
Catch ya.
How good. Let's go. Sweden Pistons power. Absolutely. Well, it's actually Switzerland, but I don't know if you're joking around there, Alan, but it's Switzerland because I saw after last stream, like people were like, Jack stuffed up the name and then the country like 3 times. Actually, I can still see you down the bottom here, John. You're not on the thing. Am I saying your name right? I'm gonna have to bring you back up. Let me get your name.
Like it's John, but
John.
you're close enough. John. Yeah.
I'm horrible, but thank you so much, John.
Yeah.
We got it.
Okay.
All right, man. We'll talk later.
All right. We'll talk later.
Right. There we go. Here we go. Pistons next. Switzerland basketball. Let's go. Yeah, Switzerland. We're all over it. We're gonna get there. Couldn't agree more, YouTube user. I think this is my favorite show. Just like having Tom up here from South Korea, John from Switzerland, Cody, my man from Chicago, Cody and Austin, who have been up here like countless times after wins and losses. Like, shout out to those two. Shout out to Pistons next. My man Alan, gonna go get that bunning snag. You know it. Appreciate you, my man. Have to get you up soon. Just everyone in here. White guy next door, who I know is Dan. Like, guys are all the best. Like, you're always in here. There's some stuff here earlier that I was laughing at, and I was trying to pay attention to whoever was talking because I didn't want to be rude. But you guys have been funny in here. I can't even find it. There's so many comments, but you guys are the absolute best. I think we've gone through a lot of the comments. Yeah, what a time to be a Pistons fan, though, guys. This is so fun. So fun. Like, the vibes are incredible. And I think they're just going to keep getting better. I think we'll be back. Was it the Warriors next? Let me check here. We'll round it out with looking at the schedule. So we've got Brooklyn next on Wednesday for you guys in the US, Thursday for me here in Australia. I have not paid any attention to the Nets at all, but they obviously traded away Finney Smith. So we'll see. And then we've got the Warriors. So 2-0. Like, I mean, Raptors on Sunday as well, or Saturday, 3-0. Like, if they go 3-0, we're talking about 7-0 win streak, which, funnily enough, the Brandon Jennings game winner last year, I think that Brandon Jennings game winner was 10 years ago today. in San Antonio, which I think extended the streak to 7. So if they go 3-0, if they beat the Nets in Brooklyn, come home, beat the Warriors, and then beat the Raptors at home, we're talking about a 7-game win streak. But I'm not going to get too ahead of myself because honestly, just each game is honestly so fun, and after it's even better. So thank you so much for all of you for tuning in. Your support means the world. So happy to see us like just getting new guests on here, people from different countries. That's what this is all about. Still want some of you guys in here who have never come up and are always in the comments to pop up whenever you feel like you can. No pressure, but I would love to get you guys up here, like YouTube user, Pistons next, Wacko next door. There's so many of you who are constantly in here. So if you ever feel like you want to come up, you're very, very welcome, and we'll stay up for as long as we need to. But thank you so much, guys. Enjoy the win. Yeah, we'll be back after the Brooklyn game. But as always, go Pistons.